So today on this video we are going to work on the sickle mower. There's a couple things I want to do with it. One thing is the last time I was out there I bent this rod on it. How that happened was when I was mowing I couldn't pick this up without pulling this arm up, and I just didn't want to get off the tractor anymore. So I was just backing up with the bar down on the ground, and that bar got bent from all the force. So I have a parts one that I'm probably gonna go get, unless I can get this one bent straight. I'm just gonna go get the one off the parts sickle mower and swap it out. And then the second thing that I have to do is I bought a hydraulic cylinder for it, finally. So we're gonna get that put on. Hopefully it's the right size. We'll see. So I got this hydraulic cylinder. It's on there backwards right now, don't worry about that. But it's like the smallest one they make, pretty much. Well, not the smallest one they make, but the smallest one the store had. So hopefully it will work fine. It's all the way in its compressed position now, and it's still longer than what this is, but there's some slack. So I think the only way to really figure it out, I think it'll be plenty, because it doesn't need to move that much. If you look at this, the connection point's there. I mean, it's already pretty much at where it should be, and then just to extend this out to here, there's obviously plenty of space in there. So this should be the exact right one for this. And this wasn't too expensive. This was, I think it was $90 for that cylinder. And then I got two hoses that we'll have to hook up. I kind of wanted to hook it up with just one hose like the other one was, but I really don't know if you can do that. I'm not really 100% sure how these work. They have a single port here, and then they have a port here and a port here, but these two ports are plastic plugs, so they assume you're going to replace those, and this one's a steel plug. So I don't know if you can just put one hose on here and then just operate it with one. I mean, that's how I would like to do it, because I really don't need force in both directions. So we're just going to hook up two hoses, I guess, and then go from there. So this is actually going to mount like this. Alright, it's on there. I wanted the ports on this side so it wouldn't interfere with other stuff. Don't mind my disgusting workbench. So what I have here is I got these two 90-degree fittings that go on the cylinder, and then it also adapts it from 3/8, which is the ports that are on the cylinder, to 1/2 inch. So these will go on that. And then the hoses I got are 1/2 inch by 72 inches. So hopefully they're long enough. I should probably take it over there and double check, or actually measure it. So 72 is perfect. And I was actually going to get one that was 60 and one that was 72, because the cylinder's a foot long. So that way it would make both of the ends about the same length. But they were all out of the 60-inch ones, so I just had to go with the 72 for both. And also these Pioneer fittings came with my tractor. They came with the rear remote kit on it, so I didn't have to buy these, and they came with these nice caps too, so that's really nice. So just gotta get this on one end here. And it looks like these are just pipe fittings, so we'll need some thread tape and find some wrenches the right size. There's one. Now the other. We got both of these on here, so now let's take these over to the tractor and get these fittings on there, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so we're going to need to put thread sealer on this as well. All of these are pipe fittings, apparently. Oh, this one actually isn't. Oh yeah, it is. No, this one's kind of a flare fitting. I'm not sure if the flare fitting will actually work with these hoses or not. I guess we'll find out. But this will need a thread sealer on there. Alright, got these ready. Put these in here. The tricky part will be to get them to line up going this way. Like that. You want them tight enough to where they're not going to leak, but also pointing in the correct direction. Like so. Now we need to put these on. Like I said before, these are flare fittings, so not 100% sure how this is going to work. This one actually does kind of have a flare on it, so it might seal fine. But you don't need thread sealer on a flare connection. That one I just did by mistake. There we go. So now we should be able to hook these up, and I hate that one's a foot longer than the other. I really wish I could have found that 60-foot hose, or 60-inch hose, because then they'd both be the same length. But I guess we'll just have to make do. Maybe eventually I'll get one that's the right length. And take these out. And I don't know if it really matters which side you put these in, so. There we go. And that's it. And now we have this huge lengthy hose here and this nice perfectly lengthened one there. That's really annoying. I'm probably gonna have to go buy the other one because this is gonna drive me insane. I hate that. And it's gonna get in the way of the PTO and everything. It's just gonna be a nightmare. This one is the perfect length. So annoying. Anyway, I probably should have routed it like underneath there, because then it wouldn't get all tangled up. It would have been a lot nicer just to only have to mess with one hose, but you can see what I did here. This one I looped around there. This one's just kind of dangling here. But yeah, should work fine. So now I want to fix this rod here. You can see it's bent right there. I'm not 100% sure how difficult that's going to be to get out. It's probably rusted in there pretty good. I really feel like I just want to bend it back and then it'll be fine, because I'm not going to back up with it down anymore and it'll be plenty fine. It looks like it's just been there. I might just put a jack underneath it and jack it up right there and see if I can get it to straighten up. There's a good chance it's just going to lift the whole thing up, but yep. I got an idea. So this here is actually for the stand. Ugh. So if I put this down, it'll keep it from going up. It holds that down. So at least then it won't be able to rise up. But now I have a feeling it's just gonna lift the whole thing. Yeah, it's just lifting to the 3-point now. Alright, so I think we're all lazy, and I'm one of them, but I like to try to work smarter, not harder. So I didn't want to have to take this bar off. So what I did was I wrapped a chain around this end and a chain around the other end. So when this jacks up, it will also prevent the whole thing from lifting up, and it should put a lot of force on this bar to lift it up. So let's see if my theory is correct. Oh yeah. That's how it's supposed to happen. I want actually, it's working. I want to move it down this way more though. Like right there. Hopefully that'll work. Does it bounce back is the question. A little bit, so we want to go a little bit more past it. Now, I'd say that's probably straight enough. It's spaghetti noodled it a little bit, but it'll be fine. This bar, it's probably not going to bend again because it actually only has pulling force on it normally. It was just when I backed up, it put compression force on it. So normally it's not going to want to bend at all. So we should be good now. And that was way easier than taking it all off of there. All right, now that we got this all hooked up, let's see how this cylinder works and if it leaks. So it should be on the number 1 here. See what happens. Oops. Well, I just made a mistake. Of course. So I forgot the stand was down, and as you can probably see in the video, I just twisted this shaft. Let's put this up. Oh man. Hopefully it didn't twist it too much to where it won't work at all now, but that's a bummer. Alright, let's see what happens now. So that's all the way out. So the cylinder is going to have to move further in order to raise it now. But it should work fine. It's a bummer that I twisted that, but it looks like all the pressure relief valves and everything are working too, so that's good. There's a whole bunch of play there now, which is probably good because now I can just lower it and not have to worry about, like, because there's this little bit of play here, but it still moves all the way in both directions, so should be fine. It'll work. And actually, looking at this, I might actually flip this cylinder over and put the hydraulics on the other side because that'll keep them away from the drive shaft here. And I should get a protective sheathing for these because they're going to be rubbing on some metal and stuff, so I really need to do that as well. I'm not actually going to be mowing with this today. It's supposed to rain and the fields have just not been growing because it's been extremely dry here. And we are supposed to get some rain today, which is good, but the fields haven't been growing much. The one field that did really good on the first cutting is only maybe a foot and a half tall, and it's been quite a while since then. The other field, it's tall, but a lot of the grass isn't, I don't really know what to make of it. It's not a very clean field. So probably only gonna get 2 cuttings out of it this year, honestly, which is kind of a bummer, but that's what happens. So I'm gonna flip this around and then we'll call it there. Alright, so I got the cylinder flipped over, and the nice benefit of having it flipped like this is the gravity or the weight on these hoses are actually going to want to tighten these fittings. And this fitting was actually leaking, so I tightened this up more on this flare fitting here, or right here. So hopefully it will be tight enough now to where it doesn't leak. You can see some fluid right there. This one was good and the ones up there were good as well, but this is the one that I was a little worried about, so we'll see how it goes anyway. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this. We got the bar fixed, we got the hoses on, the hydraulic cylinder, so I might also adjust this bolt here. There's a lot of thread left in there and that would take up a lot of that slack from twisting that shaft there. Well, that's going to be it. Hopefully we'll be out in the field again soon and mowing and baling again. It just really depends. We're supposed to get some decent rain here, so if that goes good, it'll probably be a little bit, but we got other things we can work on, so it's not a big deal. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.